In this session, we are going to see the bottom approach versus top-down approach. So, before going to this is the synthesis of nanomaterial. The topic is there are two approaches used for synthesis of nanomaterials. Synthesis of nanomaterials. One is bottom up approach. Another is top-down approach. So first we are going to see the bottom up approach. In the bottom up approach, molecular components arrange themselves into a more complex assemblies, atom by atom, molecule by molecule, or cluster by cluster from the bottom. Example is nothing but a growth of system. Molecular components arrange themselves into some useful conformation of using the concept of molecular self-assembly. For example, synthesis of nanoparticles by colloid dispersions. Here you can see this, the right side and the drawing show itself. The atoms are arranged themselves, are making the bigger particles. Atoms are combination of more atoms and making that nanoparticles. The small components and making, okay, example here, chemical reduction. Then that gives to the more number of atoms making a small nanoparticles. In the top-down approach, nanoscale devices are created by using large externally controlled devices to direct their assembly. The right side you can see the large particle is then making a small particle that pretend to be a small number of particles. The top-down approach often uses the traditional workshop or microfabrication method in which externally controlled tools are used to cut, mill, and shape materials into their desired shape or order. Examples: attrition and milling for making nanoparticles are typical top-down approaches. Next one is hybrid approach. Both the techniques, example bottom-top, that is nothing but bottom and top-down approaches are both are employed to making a nanoparticles. Lithography is an best example of a hybrid approach, which growth of thin film is a bottom approach method, whereas etching is top-down method. Nanoparticles are synthesized using such as ultraviolet radiation, aerosol technologies, lithography, laser ablation, ultrasonic weld, and photochemical reaction techniques. These are the techniques are used to make a nanoparticles. Disadvantage: expensive and involve uses of hazardous chemicals. Green synthesis are making use of biological systems. Disadvantage is low monodispersity, low production rates, and high production costs. Then the simple view, it refers to the traditional workshop top-down model. It refers to the traditional workshop or microfabrication method where tools are used to cut a mill and shape into the that already we saw that. Similarly, in the bottom order methods are where devices create themselves by a self-assembly. Chemical synthesis is a good example. This approach is much cheaper than top-down approach, but difficult to handle because of become larger and more bulky. Okay. Here you can see this how the top-down. First substrate, then coating is added, then lithographic technique used to making a small thing. Then similarly, bottom down small particle, atom or particle making synthesis control methods, control of nanoparticles, making a nanoparticles. Then after that self-assembly, then the making as a tailored design material is this used to this part. Next topic is structure of nanoparticle that will be seen in the next class.